Welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to create our mission section. This is an interesting one. The mission section is about the brand. So in order to create this section, you need to have a better understanding of what it is your client's brand is trying to accomplish. I'm not talking about what products they're selling. I'm talking about what their entire brand, their entire business is trying to accomplish. How are they trying to make the world into a better place? The mission section is going to be about what you're doing for the world, why it's a good idea to buy products from you or from your client. So the mission section that we're going to be putting up here, it's going to be the last section, will also be tied together with the about section. And there's an interesting psychology about that. We want that our brand or our client's brand to have their mission with their business to be tied together with their identity. So when visitors come to the website and click on the About page in order to learn more about the business, we want that About page to be all about the mission, the goal with selling these products, how they're trying to make the world into a better place. Not when it was created, what's the name of the people who work there. All of that stuff can be interesting when you get to know the company. But the most important part is why the company exists to begin with and why these products are a good idea and how they're changing the world into a better place. So we're going to tie together the mission together with the about so that the mission and about are one and the same thing. And then this about page later on is also going to have a contact page. And the contact page will simply be a way for visitors to contact you or your clients. But in order to reach it, they will first have learned about your business. So there's a lot of psychology and design principles behind the design we're doing right now. But understand that the mission part is about tying the mission together with the identity of your website or your client's website. And then we can expand the strategy upon that mission, especially later on as we start adding in social medias. So we're going to scroll down and we're just going to do some cleaning here. We don't need this section. So I'm going to click here on the delete button and just remove it. And then it says we aim to please our clients. And it's an interesting choice of wording. We're going to remove that section as well. And this section we don't need. So we're going to remove that section too. Now what we want to do for our mission section, a design that I like, is to use more of a full screen design similar to this one. So what I'm going to do is move up to this section and I'm going to copy it, scroll all the way down, right click and paste it in. And here we go. Now, of course, we don't actually want this section specifically. We want it to be different, but it gives us a great foundation to be playing around with. So here's what we can do. First of all, we're going to click on the product image and we're going to remove it just by clicking on the trash can right here. We're not going to remove this column because this column exists as a way of keeping this text to the left, to the side like this. And I really like that design. I don't want to center it. I want it to be to the left because we have a different background image where there's going to be a hand here to the right and I want some space for that hand. So let's go ahead and add it in right away. I'm going to click up here to work with the section, go to Style, go to Choose Image, Upload Files, Select Files. I'm going to look for where it says Our Mission, click on that one, which is a really nice image here, and then Open, and then Select. And here we go, it's a nice size and everything. I'm going to click on the header, I'm going to change this text into Our Mission. Then I'm going to change the body. And once again, this is where you talk to your client to ask them what their mission is and how their product is making a change in the world. Here we could write something like, clean drinking water should be accessible to everyone, everywhere. Safe hydration is a necessity, not a luxury. So it goes without saying, the mission that we're working on here specifically is that everyone should have access to clean drinking water. Now we're going to take this even further. When we start working on the About page later on, we're going to write about how every purchase of our product is going to donate a certain percentage of their purchase money into a clean water foundation. This is how we turn a basic product into something bigger. We're going to talk more about that later on. But just know that the mission we're working on here is to provide clean drinking water accessible to everyone and make that into our business. We're going to go down to the Shop Now button and we're going to change it from Shop Now to Learn More. Now notice also if I add in some text on the Our Mission part like this, you see how it fades in, that animation. Now that animation is something that is really nice to have on the hero section of the page, but it's not quite as nice to have when you actually start scrolling down on the page. You don't want to wait for anything. You want things to be there when you get to that section. So we're going to make sure that we're aware of this and remove it before we're finished with the section. So the Learn More button also has an arrow like this. I'm going to remove that arrow. It says icon here, and as you can see, the upload SVG is activated. I'm going to click on none, and that's just going to remove that uploaded SVG file. Now there's no arrow anymore. I think this is a nicer, cleaner design. Then I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm going to change the margin because I think it's a little far away from the rest of the text. I'm going to turn it into 20. Yeah, it doesn't matter, looking like this. I think it's a nicer design. And then I'm just going to play around with the size of the covering of this background image. I'm going to click on the section up here. I can go to advanced, and then we can play around with the padding. Now the padding, on the other hand, puts a padding from inside of this section. So it's going to pad, rather than pushing things away from the outside, it's going to put layers on the inside. So let's say that I put 100 in padding. Because it's padding from the inside here, it pushes the text down, as you can see, and enlarges everything. And by removing the padding, it brings things up because we're removing this layer. The more padding we have, the more we're going to push things in. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to push this down a little bit just so that it's not centered. I don't like the centered look, but rather I would like to have this image just display as a whole to give an experience and a feeling here of our mission, and push it further down. So I'm going to play around first with, let's say, 200. There we go. And as we're pushing this padding from the top here and down, we're also creating more space. We're expanding the image itself. If we have an image that is expandable, of course. If we don't, it won't be able to expand. That's pretty nice. Let's try even more. 450. Now, if I put 450 here, that actually expands the entire image into a full screen image. If I push it to the side, we can see what it's really going to be like when people enter our website. We can see that people are going to scroll down from the top products and then go into the Our Mission section. This is an experience, and this experience in itself is going to make people curious and want to learn more. Our primary purpose is to sell products, but if they scroll this far down and they still haven't clicked on a product, they might be more interested in us and what we're about, or build more credibility with us. And this sort of experience is perfect to capture that feeling and make them want to learn more. So this is a beautiful display. It's a full screen display. It explains our mission, what we're about, and they can learn more from it. I'm going to expand the edit part again, and I'm just going to keep it at 450, just like this. And that's pretty much it, a beautiful display. Now the only thing left is to remove those animations we spoke about earlier. So I'm going to click up here and go to the header, Advanced Motion Effects, Entrance Animation. I'm going to remove it, so there's none. Gonna do the same with this text, Advanced Motion Effects, going to turn it into none. And then finally the button, I'm going to go down to Motion Effects, none. And don't worry about connecting this button, we're going to do that in an upcoming lecture. So there we go, not bad at all, huh? I'm going to remove this editing section. I'm going to scroll all the way up and just get the experience of the website. We have the hero section. We haven't covered it full screen in order to entice that scroll. We have the reviews for credibility. We're speaking to our audience segments, all with call to actions, all with direct key messages towards those audience segments. Scrolling down, we're cleanly displaying our top products, and these will also show the price once we've edited our products a little bit more. And finally, for those who are still curious, who hasn't been enticed to click on any of the purchase, which is the primary reason we have this website for our strategy, we can scroll down, we can get this big, nice full screen experience where they can learn more about us and our mission with our product. And scrolling down, there's the About section, we have the useful links, and that is going to be our home page. Amazingly well done coming this far and editing this much. Starting to get a little bit more comfortable with Elementor now, aren't we? In the next lecture, we're going to set up the store part of our website so that these products are actually clickable and buyable. Quite important if we want to make money off of ours or a client of their products. See you in the next lecture.